My name is Irvaan Maharaj, and I am the Business Development Manager for the Walvis Bay Corridor Group. I have also prepared a presentation. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share it on the screen, or can I just go through it from my side?
Well, there should be an option for you to click on share screen. I believe the option has been disabled by the host. But it seems like it works now. So yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to confirm if you can see my screen.
Absolutely perfect. We can see you perfectly.
Okay.
We can see the screen as well. So please
Thank you.
go ahead.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, thank you very much again to everybody. So just very briefly, some contents of the presentation. The Walvis Bay Corridor Group, who we are, our service profile and partnerships, investment and trade in Namibia, attracting business on our corridors, and projects that the Walvis Bay Corridor Group South Africa office has completed for the corridors. The Walvis Bay Corridor Group, we are a public-private partnership initiative. The Walvis Bay Corridor Group initiative was established in 2000, which has been aimed at promoting imports and exports. We a Section 21 company, meaning that we are a non-profit organization, which is not for gain. We serve as a corridor management institution that creates joint working environment to attain consensus amongst corridor partners and marketing a positive and attractive business community. Just the Walvis Bay Corridor Group, our service profile, we offer very important services. From a business development perspective, we act as, we are business development managers in our various offices, where we have offices in South Africa, Zambia, DRC, Namibia, as well as Brazil, where we facilitate and maintain existing and try to bring in new cargo through our corridors, which I will share with you as we go along. We facilitate the services of trade and cross-border facilitation, which is also critical. We have highly skilled representatives that facilitate trade amongst our various corridors, specifically in Zambia and DRC, Botswana as well. We work very closely with the Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat as well for any of these challenges or improved efficiencies that we need to do along our corridors. We create network between stakeholders, which I will share on another slide shortly, which is all the members and customers in the South African market across Africa as well. We serve as a facilitation center in Namibia for any investments or trade opportunities that needs to be done in Namibia. We can facilitate all of these infrastructure projects through all our members, which I will share with you very shortly. We have a wellness service department, which is very strategic to our company. The wellness service is a broad membership and a diverse range of stakeholders. It offers a platform that facilitates and supports the fight against HIV/AIDS and the provision of general wellness interventions along the transport corridors. Our wellness service is very critical to our department and has been playing a very important role during COVID-19, especially with transporters and truckers that are driving through our borders who need assistance with any COVID-19 tests and any services that we can offer the drivers to make their travel through their destination as easy as possible. Our logistics hub is very important as well. The logistic hub project is unquestionably the most ambitious initiative since Namibia became an independent state in 1990. This economic repositioning will have a favorable impact on companies and individuals at all levels, in the process, providing a major long platform for growth in virtually all areas of our economy. By utilizing economic growth in the whole Southern African region, the Logistics Hub project will expand Namibia's economy beyond its restricted domestic limits. Uh, so just on our next slide, these are all the members of the corridor group, which I would just like to share with you very quickly. We have the Walvis Bay Port Users Association. The Walvis Bay Port Users Association represents all the entities associated with cargo and freight and shipping activities in the port of Walvis Bay. We have CLOF, which is the Container Line Operating Forum, that represents all the container shipping lines only calling and servicing the Walvis Bay port directly. The Namibia Logistics Association represents all the Namibia logistics industry, namely small and large companies operating in road transport and freight forwarding and courier services as well. The Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry serves as the country's business chamber and therefore serves as a convenient central point of inquiry for any potential corridor user who wishes to gain insight into Namibia's business community. The Namibia Port Authorities, NAMPORT, is one of our strategic key players. NAMPORT is operating as a national port authority in Namibia and manages and promotes the ports in Namibia, which is the Port of Walvis Bay and the Port of Lüderitz. We also have the Namibia Transporters Association, which is a Namibian-based small and medium-long logistics service providers comprising of various transporters and freight forwarders. The Road Fund Administration was established through an Act of Parliament and is one of our Namibia road user charging systems. And the Road Fund also helps to keep our infrastructure and roads along our corridors as safe and efficient as possible. Transnamib Holdings is one of our important rail company based in Namibia. Transnamib is the national transport logistics provider in Namibia and specializes in bulk freight and containerized cargo, utilizing a combination of road and rail. At the bottom, we have all our important government members that are part of our group, from the Ministry of Works and Transport, Industrialization, Trade and Development, Ministry of Finance, and Home Affairs as well. Just on our next slide, this is the Walvis Bay corridors that I would like to share with the colleagues today. We have the Trans-Kalahari corridor that links the port of Walvis Bay to Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. We have the Walvis Bay and Ndola Lubumbashi corridor as well, which links the port of Walvis Bay to Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, the DRC as well. The Transkonene corridor is a very important corridor as well that links the port of Walvis Bay with southern Angola up to Lubango over a distance of 1,600 kilometers. The corridor road infrastructure is supported by the Northern Railway line, which extends from the port of Walvis Bay to Oshikambo. Attracting business on our corridors, we encourage all sectors and companies worldwide, for example, from the agriculture, mining, manufacturing, minerals, for any competitive logistics and supply chain costs. And with faster times and border crossing, our corridors that I have mentioned are very strategic and efficient. The port of Walvis Bay is also strategically located with direct access to principal shipping routes from the Far East, the Europes, and the Americas. Uh, in saying that, we are strategically located for any imports, and we can always look at putting a competitive logistics solution together. Cargo owners facing any challenges or any delay for imports or exports of cargo at various ports. We have reputable shipping lines, transporters, and freight forwarders in Walvis Bay, Namibia, that are ready to assist with the supply chain solution to divert your cargo via the port of Walvis Bay onto our corridors. And based on this, very basic information needs to be facilitated for competitive supply chain rates or packages. With our key logistics members, all the information that we need is just estimated volumes or how many containers your company does per month, what's the commodity, the country of origin that is going to be shipped from, and the final destination, which helps us to put uh, a competitive logistics supply chain solution to facilitate on our various corridors into Africa. And we also strongly encourage customers to visit Namibia, especially to our ports, and to see the services that can be offered along our corridors. Just some insight based on attracting volumes. Just an example of completed project that we have done from the South African perspective for our corridors. We started with the project for bulk sulfur that is currently being shipped to the port of Richards Bay. We were working with this specific customer on this project, and with the high transport cost on the north-south corridor from KwaZulu-Natal into the DRC and Zambia, and also with the challenges with the ongoing strikes. We assisted the customer to facilitate these bulk sulfur imports via our port of Walvis Bay onto the Walvis Bay Ndola Lubumbashi Development Corridor for Zambia and DRC. This is a good achievement for our corridor and benefits our logistics members and the Namibia Port Authority, and it will help to increase the volumes on these corridors. And transporters will deliver the bulk sulfur to Zambia and DRC, and also collect copper from Zambia and DRC to the port of Walvis Bay for export to the Far East, China, Shanghai. And this will also help to create an import and export balance as well on this corridor. So South Africa is very strategic for diverting and assisting the other Africa countries for facilitating these sorts of shipments through the corridors. This bulk sulfur shipment will be imported from the far eastern Europe via the port of Walvis Bay. So just an idea on that is that from the Far East as well, we can facilitate these sorts of imports as well. Just a quick slide on our wellness service. Our wellness service again facilitates and supports the fight against HIV and AIDS. It's a provision of general wellness interventions, and we have offices in Walvis Bay, Katima Molilo, Windhoek, and Oshikango. And if there's any further information you will require, we can always assist um, in emailing the information as well. Just, uh, just on the investment and trade in Namibia, this is very critical to offering these services throughout Africa. Namibia is a very well located uh, country, and we offer opportunities for investment in infrastructure, through PPEs or foreign direct investment. We currently have a deficit of service, land, and housing opportunities for investment and operations in this field as well. So if there's any opportunities to invest, we will certainly can facilitate this from the Walvis Bay Corridor Group members' perspective. We can also facilitate preferential incentives to manufacturing, particularly those that add value to local commodities and provide access to the SADC. And this physical trade is managed by the Walvis Bay Corridor Group, which facilitates the transport corridors to the entire SADC markets. Agriculture, we're also very big on agriculture to prepare for climate variability, and we can mitigate against drought. Climate change is very adaptive, and obviously, with certain technologies are required for crop production. On social enterprise, Namibia welcomes private and social enterprise, particularly in specializing in health and education as well. We have a fantastic health and education system in Namibia. So that is also such something.
One moment, please, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj. Can you put a pause? Anyone who is not speaking, please mute yourself. There's one user, Galaxy J2 Core. Please mute yourself. Thank you very much. There's a lot of feedback. Please mute yourself and allow our speaker, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj, to go ahead with his presentation. Namat and Galaxy J2 Core, please mute yourself. I will ask the host to mute those people, please. Retabile, Galaxy J2 Core have to be muted. Thank you for your understanding. Unfortunately, I do not have hosting abilities, so I can't do that, but it looks like, yeah, our host has done it for us. So thank you so much. Please, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj, you may continue.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so just to get back to the social enterprise, again, Namibia welcomes private and social enterprise, particularly specializing in the health and education system. I was just mentioning, very importantly, Namibia has a fantastic health and education system. And if there's any sort of investment opportunities one would like to be linked to enhance this, we are always welcome to facilitate this with our government sector as well. Namibia is also largely incredible on tourism. It has a popular travel destination and investments in tourism. And there are particularly a lot of accommodation opportunities as well, because Namibia also has a lot of land in various areas along the region as well. So we welcome that for investment and trade in Namibia. And all this can be facilitated from the Corridor Group perspective as well. Just some of our footprint. We have offices in Lubumbashi, Lusaka, Zambia, Windhoek, Namibia, Johannesburg, South Africa, Brazil as well. We are looking to develop and advance our offices in Europe. We are in discussions on opening an office in Europe as well. Far East and the Americas is also a long-term project that we are looking to advance as well. Just time to the market from an import and export perspective. Walvis Bay can serve the market to these various destinations as displayed on the screen, to Angola, 3 to 5 days. Botswana, 2 days. For Botswana, we again work closely with the Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat to facilitate this trade amongst our borders. We have very quick dwell times at the borders along the Trans-Kalahari Corridor. 5 to 6 days to the DRC. The same with Malawi. South Africa, 2 days. Zambia and Zimbabwe, 3 to 4 days. We also have direct sailings from the following countries: the Europes, the Far East, North America, and the Middle East as well. Just on the next slide, this is one of our very important success stories in Namibia. Again, we work very closely with the Namibia port authorities, and we just commissioned our new container terminal at the port of Walvis Bay last year in 2019, which is fully commissioned and operational. So just a picture and slide on our new container terminal. Hoping y'all can visit there one day as well. Another slide. Just on the port of Walvis Bay, that is managed by and overseen by the Namibia port authorities. We have increased our capacity in 2019 from 350,000 TEUs to 750,000 TEUs, meaning from 5.5 million tonnages of cargo to 10 million tons that we can now handle at our port in Namibia. And the port of Lodges, which is our second port that is also managed by the Namibia port authorities, it can handle has the capacity to handle additional 2 million tons, which we are trying to achieve by 2022 as well. And yeah, thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj, for standing in for your CEO. Thank you for this presentation. I'm going to open the floor for our participants, whom I think a couple of them wanted to say something. I can see that John Kondowe's camera is on, with 3 people out there. If you have anything to say, please unmute yourself and take the floor away to ask the questions to either Mamelo Thulare, who was our first speaker of this 3rd session, or to Irvaan Maharaj. So yes, you can go ahead. If you have anything to say, you can simply go ahead, please. Just unmute yourself, show your video, and run with your question. We have about 5 minutes to go. Yes, I'm seeing some signals from John Kondowe. Seems like they want to ask a question, but I'm not sure if they're able to find the unmute button. In the meantime, if no question comes, I'm going to check if our host, Mr. Sol Molobi, is around. Mr. Sol Molobi, are you currently at your desk?
Hello, okay. I'm here.
Great, great. So we have you on standby, which is great. You can proceed with any question that you have. We have 5 minutes to ask questions, but I'm getting one from, finally, yes, from John Kondowe, who says, what has been the experience over the last 5 years? I'm not sure who this question is being addressed to, but I'm going to assume that it's being addressed to our last speaker, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for the question. It's really appreciated. Well, what I can say over the past 5 years, Namibia as a country, and especially from investment and trade perspective, we are one of the very few ports throughout Africa that is always fully operational for the imports and the exports as well, from a trade perspective. We are always very eager to look at the challenges that are faced along our corridors and how do we improve on it. And I think from the past 5 years, even now, if you take into account now with the COVID-19 and the challenges that we've been faced at the borders uh, and at the ports, we are one of the very few ports that was 100% operational to handle non-essential and essential cargo via our ports. And with the increase of volumes through our ports, we have managed to increase more transport along our various corridors. And yes, it does come with its challenges, but I think with our highly skilled set of colleagues that we have based within our company and in Africa, specifically Zambia and the DRC, and Botswana as well, whatever challenges that do come through, we are trying our utmost best to eliminate these challenges so we can have transport along our corridors as first priority. Because currently the transport drivers that are very critical during COVID. So we like to support the transporters, improve and enhance challenges, any efficiencies. And from the past 5 years till current, these are the achievements that we are trying to do and keep on doing until we keep putting Namibia more and more and more on the continent. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. I hope this answers your question. We have another question from the same source. So that's going to be the last question before we move into the next session in this program. The question is, are there any collaborative plans among the major ports in Southern Africa, Durban, Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, Beira, Walvis Bay? That's the question to you, Mr. Irvaan Maharaj, please. We need to go through this session very smoothly, so I'm going to repeat the housekeeping rules. And when you are not speaking, please put your microphone off and also turn off your video, unless you want to go ahead with a question, please. If our host from Brand Hill Africa is around, I'm going to ask you very kindly, Mr. Solmolobi, to please, assist me there with muting our participants. But I know that some of you want to say a lot of things. So yes, let's take the last question before we move into our next session. So the last question again was addressed to Mr. Irvaan Maharaj, and it's, are there any collaborative plans among the major ports in Southern Africa, namely Durban, Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, and Beira?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for that question. To answer that question, yes, what I can say is that we are always looking for collaborative discussions with the other ports in Africa. We have well-developed relationships with the South African ports, as well as the ports in Mozambique as well. We do a lot of collective information sessions as well, where we share information where we can enhance the plans of how can we replicate a specific infrastructure between all the other ports to enhance the movement of cargo through our ports. So it's really a summary of always keeping our discussions open with the ports to see, firstly, if what's very important is also intra-Africa trade as well. Because from the ports of Walvis Bay, as an example, there could be congestion at the port of Beira, as an example. And these specific importers at that ship to the port of Beira can also call on the port of Walvis Bay, where we can divert their cargo via the port of Walvis Bay to Beira as well. And it's a collective effort as well, because the congestion issues amongst the other ports are quite high in comparison to the congestion that we have at our ports. To be quite honest, is quite minimal. We do move high volumes of cargo as well. But that's one of the biggest benefits that we offer, is that we don't have any congestion issues. So yes, we collaborate with the other ports to see how we can determine to have a harmonized way of doing imports and exports. And it's a collaborative effort and discussion amongst the ports, specifically Transnet and the various other ports, where we can enhance discussions to divert cargo through our port. But again, it's a collective effort amongst the other ports. Yeah, thank you.
Great. I believe this clearly answers the question. So that will be it for this session, because it's now 1 p.m. GMT and then 3 p.m. In South Africa. So that's it for our questions and feedbacks interlude. A very big thanks to you, Mr. Irvaan, and also to our previous speaker, Mamelo Thulare. Both of these speakers are available to connect. So again, to participants, this is BiSPA 2020 is an amazing opportunity for you to network. You never know where your next mentor could be from, or could be where your next gig could be. So don't sit back, don't be laid back. Opportunities are there to be taken. Go out there, familiarize yourself with the speakers in the chat window. Feel free to share your business links and all of that. So now let's jump on to our next session. We are supposed to have François Fouche, whom I'm going to assume is a fellow French speaker like me, at least based on the name.